My parents kicked me out at 16, and my twin sister basically cheered. 12 years later, I finally bought my own house. 2 weeks after I moved in, they showed up uninvited with her whole crew, acting like the deed had their names on it. Growing up, I was the extra. My parents wanted a daughter. They got a daughter, and me. They even told me they wouldn't have kept the pregnancy if it was only a boy. So my sister used that like a weapon. Everything in our home revolved around her, and I learned fast to stay quiet. The only person who treated me like I mattered was my grandpa. Then he died when I was 13, and whatever little protection I had vanished. When we were 16, my sister got pregnant by a 19-year-old deadbeat. My parents rushed to fix it and moved him into our tiny 2-bedroom rental. My dad looked at me and said, "Figure it out." I asked for the couch. He said no. My sister smiled and added, "There's no space for you." I tried friends. No luck. Cops picked me up sleeping outside once, and my parents lied that I ran away. That night, my dad threw a busted tent into the backyard like it was a gift. Winter was brutal. I knocked on the door, shaking. No one answered. I knocked on their window. My dad yelled, "Do that again and I'll knock you down." So, I left for real. A bakery owner 2 towns over gave me work and a filthy little space out back. It was flour, sugar, and rats. I cleaned it, worked, saved, and learned skills until I could get hired at a car plant. I clawed my way up to supervisor. No family help. No rescue. Just stubbornness. Then a friend sold me his house cheap during a messy divorce. 3 bedrooms. Mine. I moved in and finally felt peace. 2 weeks later, my parents were on my porch with my sister, her husband, and kids. They pushed inside like they were returning home. My mom did this sugary voice, "We're proud of you." My sister walked room to room, opening doors, already planning. I asked, "Why are you here?" My dad said, "Just checking on you." My sister pointed down the hall and said, "We're taking the bedroom with the balcony. I'm excited to have my own bathroom." I just stared at her. She shrugged. "You're single. You don't need all this. You used to live in a tent, so a bedroom is an upgrade. Also, I'm pregnant with my 4th. My parents nodded like it was obvious. 7 people were crammed into their rental, and somehow the solution was to cram them into my life. I stood up. "Get out." My dad tried the old bully voice. "It's your duty as a man to take care of your sister." I said, "Your duty was to take care of your kid. You chose a tent." That's when my mom tried the cry and hug move. I blocked her, opened the door, and herded them out while my sister screamed, "You owe me," like it was a contract. A week later, my mom came back alone. No small talk. "Let them move in," she said. When I said no, she went cold. "You're gone all day. What if someone breaks in? A family here would keep you safe." 2 days after that, my elderly neighbor called. He'd seen a pregnant woman, a man, and a teenage boy lurking around my windows. I planned to install cameras that weekend. They didn't wait. 2 days later, that neighbor called again, voice tight. "I think somebody's inside." I drove home. The back window was forced. Then I saw them. My sister stood in my living room like she paid rent. Her husband grinned. "Pretty smooth, huh?" My sister snapped. "We had no choice. You were being a jerk. We live here now." I stepped forward. Then I grabbed her arm and yanked her aside. Next, I punched her husband in the face. He hit the floor. After that, her 14-year-old swung a bottle at my head. Glass cracked. Blood ran down my forehead. My neighbor shouted outside. My sister screamed into her phone for my parents. Sirens came fast. When the cops arrived, my sister turned into an actress. "We were visiting," she said. "He slipped. He's framing us." My parents rushed in and tried to talk over me, demanding I let it go. My neighbor told the truth. That night, my sister and her husband went to jail. Her son went through juvenile court. I got stitches, missed work, and pressed charges anyway. The judge ordered restitution for my medical bills and lost wages, plus fines and community service. A week later, my parents showed up again, crying. This time they wanted to move in with me too. My dad started the old and fragile speech, then admitted their plan. They'd give their rental to my sister, and I'd take them. I opened my front door and pointed outside. "Karma is real. Go live with the choices you made." And for once, I closed the door first.